Do you feel like you're not improving at Fortnite, or do you feel like you're just stuck? Well, then you come to the right place, because today I'm going to be teaching all of you how to actually improve and win more fights in Fortnite. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get into it. Now, W-King and taking fights isn't just about winning a fight as quick as possible. It's about learning when to do the right edits and how not to trade damage, and also make sure that you always leave yourself in the best position after the fight. Now, first up, you shouldn't be playing hours of creative, because it's going to give you a false sense of skill when you go into an actual game. Because in creative, you don't have any pressure on you. And when you're in an actual ranked game, you're going to realize that you're not in creative anymore. And there's a different type of skill in actual games. You actually have to use your brain because you only have one life. And in creative, you can die as many times as you want. But I do want to mention that there are some good creative maps that are actually great ways to improve, such as Forever Zone Wars. So first, let's talk about a common mistake that I see a lot of players do, and it's not creating space after you get a kill. Because creating space is one of the best ways to avoid third parties. And in this season with all the nitro and stuff, it's very important that you do this, because if someone sees you end a fight and you don't expand, they're going to take advantage of that and get a free kill off of you. Another thing you need to do is learn how to defend and properly use nitro. Now, something I see a lot of people do that is a huge mistake when fighting against nitro is not making space, because if you just sit in a 1v1, you're going to get jumped in on with nitro and die, or they're just going to take the wall and get a free kill. So when your opponent is running at you with nitro, smacking on your wall, the best option is to create space so that you have time to assess what the other player is doing. One thing you also need to make sure that you guys are doing is whenever you're smacking on an opponent's wall, you need to make sure that you have your crosshair at least on the opponent's head or somewhere around him, so that if he does edit on you, you have a free shot on him, because those few seconds it takes to track onto their head can cost you and get you killed. Now, the next thing you need to learn about fighting is not having tunnel vision. And what I mean by that is that whenever you take a shot at someone, if you hit or miss them, you're still giving your position away to other players. So you need to make sure that you know who's around you and what's around you so that you can assess every fight properly. The next trick is very versatile and can help you in a majority of fights. So when you're in an exposed position and when you're fighting an opponent and you smack on their wall or their roof, look to see if they have a cone in their box, because if they don't, all you have to do is just smack on it once or twice. But as soon as they edit, just place a ramp, and this forces the opponent to either drop a layer, or what most players do is just edit out one of their walls. And when they do that, all you have to do is make a pre-piece box and you end up getting a free kill. Also, I want to mention that this trick works from an insane amount of angles, so it's very versatile. The next thing you need to know about fighting is to never box in wood, because as someone who W keys for a living, whenever someone boxes in wood, I know that they're not the smartest player and I can just get a free beam and a kill. So make sure that you guys are always boxing in brick or metal. And fighting in ranked is mostly down to who's more confident. So if you're boxing wood and you give your opponent that confidence to smack on your wall and get a free kill, it's because they think you're a bad player. Another quick tip I have for you guys is learning when and when not to use nitro. So a good example of this is in this clip that I hit yesterday. When I heard a third party, I sprayed in the opponent's box. Then I saw that he was running away and he wasn't even looking at me. So I know that's a perfect time to jump in and get a free kill. Another major thing a lot of players don't do is when they get damaged and they're on defense is that they aren't looking to counter damage. So for example, when you get hit, in this fight here, instead of just boxing up and trying to med, I instantly look back at him and he makes a dumb play by just smacking on my wall, and then I just get a free kill. Now, another thing a lot of players do wrong is learning where to take fights and where not to take fights. Now, most of the times you do not want to fight anyone on the congested side of zone, because you're more likely to get a kill and then get third partied and die. Also, building off that, you need to learn when to disengage in a fight, because of all the nitro in this season, if someone hears you fighting, they're going to be third partying you in an instant. So if you're not closing out the fight within the first 30 seconds or so it's probably not the best idea to keep on fighting, because at that point, you and the opponent have burned through so many materials, getting the kill won't even give you anything in return. Another thing you guys need to learn how to do is by playing actively and proactively, and they can be used at different times. For example, as soon as I get this kill here, I'm not trying to just jump in on another third party. Instead, I'm creating space and waiting for the opponent to make a mistake so that I can counter it. Because you're probably winning most of your fights, but you're not winning them in the right way, because once you've made it to late game, you're just shambles, and because of all the damage you took in your previous fight, you just have nothing left. Also, I want to jump back to the beginning and talk about creative again. Now, creative may be good for improving like your high ground retakes or your aim, but it's actually terrible for learning how to improve at the game, because playing all those 1v1s are good, but they don't prepare you for an actual game. So if you want to actually improve, you need to be spending most of your time in either ranked or scrims, because it teaches you how to play under pressure when it matters. But there's also a difference between me and a lot of normal people. It's the fact that I have the most confidence in the lobby. Now, it does help to be the best player in most of my lobbies that I'm in, and it's definitely not because I play on NA West, but having confidence is huge in a fight, because with that confidence, you're not going to be worried about making mistakes or anything like that. You're just going to push the player like you don't give a Now that I got that out of the way, I want to talk about some other things outside of the game that are very important. The first thing is very simple, but it's getting good sleep and eating the right foods, because it allows for better reflexes and overall blood flow, and that means you feel good, you play good. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you are subscribed, leave a comment on what helped you out the most, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.